Let's go.
Welcome to a special edition of Don Cherry's Grapevine podcast. Dad, we're going to kind of go over all the new trades that have happened on the yesterday. So before we go, just want to thank our sponsor, Spreads.ca, First Nations Online Casino and Sportsbook. Tailored to Canadians. Sign up now and enter the promos GRAPES, and they will match your deposit up to $500. You get 15 spins on the big wheel for some big dough, and on your first bet, they'll spot you $25.
Right.
Yeah, and so I
Sounds
wonder if
pretty good to me.
The odds will be changing, I think, after today, who's going to win the Stanley Cup. So, Dad, the first team you want to talk about is the Leafs. They made a lot of trades.
Well, they got Nick Foligno. You remember his dad, big jump he used to after he scored. I think he hurt his ankle, didn't he?
He broke his ankle, yeah. He jumped after a goal at Maple Leaf Gardens. He played for his dad, Mike, played for the Leafs. And
I remember
he broke his ankle.
He used to jump. Well, he hasn't got many points, but he's a character guy. That's what they're going after. And as we talk here, they got Rittich. I wonder about Anderson, whether his groin or whatever it is he's got, whether he's going to be back next year. One of my favorite players. But anyhow, all you young defensemen out there that are big and just move the puck. I looked over the list here. That's all the. I can hear the coach saying, "Now, just get me a big defenseman that moves the puck," and that's what they got. The Leafs got that Ben Hunton. He's a big guy, 6'2".
Yeah,
he's staying home, 5 points.
He's from Brockville.
Yeah, Brockville, Ontario, and Riley Nash, another big guy, and they're all guys that they have. If somebody gets hurt, could step right in.
Yeah, he's from Consort, Alberta. And, Foligno's tough. He drops the gloves. And the Leafs got bigger, and the Leafs got a little bit more of an edge already.
Everybody they picked up was with an edge. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I'll say it again. I just don't understand the organization. The organization, everybody they pick up is somebody with an edge. Big guys.
Yeah, Thornton, Simmons.
Go down the list. They're all big. They all play with the good player. And they draft all Europeans.
Yeah.
Can somebody please tell me the reason? I just don't understand. And everybody they trade for is big and can move the puck and plays with an edge, and they draft all Europeans.
I don't know. I told you that. I said I wondered if halfway or the beginning of the season he didn't get a tap on the shoulder and said, "Okay," Stuba said, "Taps."
You're going nowhere.
Well, it's time. The experiment's over. We gotta start doing what all the teams do.
Well,
can I tell a quick funny story about Nick Foligno's dad?
Oh yeah.
I'll tell a quick funny story. You were coaching Team Canada in Sweden, and it was Team Canada. I think it was 1980, and Mike Foligno was on the team, and Guy Lafleur was on the team. And we were playing the Russians, and the first period...
Should have beat them.
We should have beat them. We were the only team that year to outshoot the Russians. So I think it was 1-1, and it was about 2 minutes. It was like about 2 minutes to go in the first period, and we had a 2-on-none. It was Mike Foligno and Guy Lafleur on the breakaway, 2-on-none on Tretiak. So Mike gives it to Guy. Guy gives it back to Mike. Mike gives it to Guy. Guy gives it back to Mike, and then Mike shot it about 3 feet over the net. So you're in the dressing room after. And you go, "Okay, guys, just before we go, you get, Guy, how many goals you get last year?" And Guy, 55. He said, "Mike, how many goals you get last year?" He says, 12. He goes, "Okay, guys, next time a 12-goal scorer is going on a 2-on-1 with a 50-goal scorer, let the 50-goal scorer shoot."
We should have beat them that year. We had a good. I think we were up 1 goal. And as you talk, I looking back now, and I said, "Don't get a penalty," because the one thing they had was a great power play, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, "Don't get a penalty," and I won't name the guy. I never forgot. Nobody liked him. What do I care? And he went out in the first minute, got a penalty.
And tripped the guy right in front of the referee.
Like I said, let's go out and get a penalty.
That's right. And then they went up 3-1. I think I forget the score. I think we lost 4-3 or 4-2, but that year we outshot them. That was the only team in the whole tournament. That was the only game that got outshot. And Tretiak stood on his head.
Yeah, and we should have beat them.
Yeah.
But I remember saying at the end, "Don't get a penalty." And he went out And I tell you where the penalty was. It was along the blue line, and the guy, he was cutting the other way. He just lifted his feet out from under him.
Yeah,
Anyhow,
yeah.
I like it. I like the Leafs are going for the downs. They're going for the Stanley Cup.
Can I ask you just one question though, Dad? They've won 10 or 11 in a row right now. Campbell's on a row. They have a good thing going. Do you think they could ever screw up a team, the chemistry, to bring in this many guys in?
But I don't know, but let's lay the cards on the table. Jack Campbell's playing pretty good for them, and he's the guy. As long as he doesn't get hurt, they got a good backup. They got an expansion team going next year too. They'll grab a goaltender off them probably. Yeah,
that was the one thing I thought that maybe they got Rittich because they're going to have to protect the two goalies, and maybe they want to protect Anderson, but who knows?
Well, they're going for the downs, and they're not fooling around, and you got to give it to the Leafs. Well, Taylor Hall from Kingston. I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you the story. I remember the Marley tournament. The head of the Marley tournament came to me and said, pick the best player. So I picked Taylor Hall. And they get beat 2-0. He says, I can't tell you the words he said to me. He said, what? They got beat 2-0. I said, yeah, you said pick the best player.
Yeah, and the funny thing was Taylor Hall, he was one of the worst players on the. He had an awful game, but then tell you what happened the next game.
Yeah, I think he got 6 goals in the afternoon.
He got 6 goals the next game.
He was unbelievable. Well, he's going with Boston, and I don't think they'll put up with. I think this is his last. This is it. This is it for him. There's no other team. If he doesn't go for Boston, he won't go for anybody. I like that Lazar they picked up. He was only -4, which was pretty good.
Yep.
I think that's pretty good. And they got Mike Riley. I think they got it for his last name. He's from Ottawa. He was only -2, which is pretty good for Ottawa,
Yeah, and 19 points as a defenseman for Ottawa. That's pretty good. So
Boston, I think, did. They're going to say Taylor Hall when he gets there. They'll put him on a good wing, and he better do something there. Well, this is his last chance.
Well, I think this is a contract year. Like, he only has, this was it. So if he doesn't do very well, who's going to give him big dough?
I mean, what do you get in Buffalo? 2 goals? I mean,
he's got 2 goals and 17 assists or something like that.
How could you play? And he played pretty regular too. I
don't know.
Maybe he wanted to get out. I like when they asked him, "Do you want to leave Buffalo?" And he said, "Yeah," right off the bat. He wasn't fooling around.
Yeah.
All right. I think Boston did pretty good. Let me put it this way. Let's say if Taylor Hall smartens up and plays the way the Boston Bruins can play, I like the idea of them. They're banking on that he'll come back to play the way he used to play.
Right. And the whole thing with Boston is Philly's right. Philly can catch them. For the last playoffs.
Their goalie coming back. I mean, they did. I know they got hammered the other night, but they get their goalie back. They'll be all right. They better be. Well, I like the guy they picked up, Jeff Carter. I mean, he only had 19 points in 40 games, but he didn't play that much. I've always liked Jeff Carter.
So you think he'll fit in with Crosby? Will get him going.
Anybody that plays with Crosby. I'd like to go out and play in left wing with Crosby. You take a look at Crosby. You put anybody with him, it'll have a good year.
Yeah. The funny thing is, Dad, and you and I kind of talked about it before, and, maybe that Jeff Carter will pick it up, but a lot of the older guys are just playing unbelievable. Like Perry in Montreal is great. Spezza, what has he got? 9 goals?
Spezza got 9 goals.
And
he only plays about 10 minutes a game.
And he takes all the important draws.
Yeah, they put him out there to take the draw and then go off. I mean, makes you wonder a little bit. But anyhow, I like Jeff Carter. Always liked Jeff Carter.
He's a big guy, 6'3" centerman. So, and he plays with a bit of an edge.
He plays with an edge, and just what Pittsburgh. I think he'll fit right in there, perfect.
So, Dad, we'll talk about the Islanders now. And just what you said at the beginning of the year, Lou Lamoriello says, I got to go out and get a big puck-moving defenseman.
And he got it. And Braden Colburn, 6'5", from Ottawa. And I'll tell you one thing. Listen, if he comes to... I watched Martin the other night, Matt Martin, and he had short hair. He looked like a movie star. He really did. And And Lou Lamoriello, you play for him. You got a beard. Away it goes. And first thing he said when he saw the beard, that's got to go.
Right. They traded for Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac from the Devils, and Palmieri had a beard and he shaved it off.
Anybody that plays for Lou Lamoriello, got to do. I remember when he got Martin back, that he had long. Well, he was here. He had a shave. Didn't look quite the same.
No.
All right, Islanders pretty good, and
but excuse me. I think probably the top names in the trade this year were Foligno and then Hall. But I think for the two guys they got that Palmieri and they got that Zajac. They both had 18 points this year.
Yeah, imagine 18 points. Imagine 18 points. I keep going back. I know you don't want to talk about it, or we've talked about it so much. Can you imagine Bobby Schmutz having 27 goals?
Yeah.
27. And we're talking about guys that had 16 points. 16 points.
Yeah.
And he had 27 assists.
Yeah.
And he wasn't invited back.
I know.
Well, anyhow,
but it looks like the Islanders are loading up.
The Islanders are loading up, and they're getting ready for the playoffs. Everybody's getting ready for the playoffs because everybody figures this is if you win the Stanley Cup. I hate to say this is going to be the easiest time. You only have to go 2, 3, and then
because it's not like you know who the guys you're playing.
Yeah, you know the whole deal. It's not like before where months and months and you're in the playoffs for months. Well, Montreal, they got Eric Stahl. He gets an overtime goal right off the bat. He's from Buffalo. He was happy to get out. Corey Perry, big guy. It looks like they're going to get big. John Merrill, defense from Detroit. Yeah, he was +2 for Detroit.
Right.
That's pretty good for a team that's in last place.
Well, he was only one of 4 guys on the team
and
that was plus. And he's a defenseman. And he's big, 6'3".
Yeah. And big move the puck. And they picked up Eric Gustafsson. How's that?
Yeah.
Is that close enough?
Yeah, he's another big defenseman. So they put Victor Mete on waivers, and they've got I think probably one of
I think Ottawa picked him up.
Did they?
Yeah.
And
I'd put him up forward.
Yeah. There's no. Yeah. You and I said, Dad, we watched him when he was 15, and he was a defenseman, and he was kind of small back then. And you and I back at 15 said, if he was a centerman, there'd be nobody could touch him once he got the puck.
He was the fastest guy I've ever seen in minor midget.
Yeah.
He was faster than them all.
Yeah.
And he playing defense. I mean, it didn't make any sense.
No.
I'd put him on the wing.
Yeah.
When he goes down that wing, boy, anyhow, they probably won't.
Yeah, but you got to look at Montreal. Their defense now is huge. They got a big defense.
It only took them about.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, I think, got the best player, David Savard from the Blue Jackets. Red Wings.
It was kind of a weird deal. It was
one
of those, somebody was picking up some salary and stuff like that. So it was the Blue Jacket Red Wings was a 3-week trade, but Tampa gave up a first-round pick for him.
Well, they should have, because he's a good defenseman. He'll fit right in. Tampa just got richer. I mean, they're the best. I feel they're the best team.
Well, it looks like to me, out of that, it looks like Tampa and Florida are going to meet out of that division.
That is going to be. I hope we can see that sometime. But Florida, Joel Quenneville doing a great job. He picked up Sam Bennett. He knows how to motivate guys, and it's a funny thing. Under Sutter, and I like Sutter. He had a team that you hated to play against. Remember Dustin Brown, how mean he was?
Yeah, you and I were talking, and we thought that Bennett was kind of playing a little bit better under Sutter.
Yeah, he was playing better.
And that, I think, though, there was bad blood there, and they had to trade him. But
I think he wanted to be traded.
Not knocking Calgary Flames, but that's not a Sutter team.
No.
And you look at the guys. You were talking about all the guys. They won their first Stanley Cup.
Well, they had Dustin Brown. I wrote them down. Jeff Carter, Kyle Clifford. Remember Kyle Clifford and Ron McLean on who?
Yeah.
They had Doughty. Doughty used to play with he still does play with it. Alex Martinez, he got the overtime goal.
Yeah.
Dustin Penner. Remember Penner? He was a big guy, great big guy. He played with an edge. Mike Richards, Justin Williams, Brad Richards, Jordan Nolan. Nolan used to play with
Yeah, they used to
They
fight.
were a tough team to play against.
Yeah, I mean, they just ran teams out of the building.
Yeah.
And Calgary's not that team, so you wonder if they're going to have to get a team like that.
He's got a 3-year contract. But 30.
Yeah. Well, you were saying
if you're going to fire him, they're going to pay him.
going to pay. But you were saying the happiest guy was Brandon Monitor.
Monitor. Can you imagine when they went to him? He
went from Buffalo to Florida.
Yeah. And you're Buffalo, and I mean, you got to be depressed a little. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. But he says, you're going to Florida. Oh, Joel Quenneville in Florida. Boy, that must have made him feel good. Well, we're talking about Colorado now. Devin Dubnyk, the goalie. They don't want what happened to them last year. Both goalies went down, and see you later. But
Hutchinson came in and did his best, but like nobody thought Dallas was going to beat them last year. And Dallas's goalie stood on his head, and
that's what happens. And you get a goaltender, you get a hot goaltender. I don't care what you can do, and I should know that. Soderberg is picked up, 6'3" guy. He had 15 points for the Hawks for 2 players. They know what they're pretty sharp in Colorado. They want to win it this year. I'd say the finals are going to be Colorado. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
And Tampa. I know that can't be the.
I don't know if that can be. But they'll meet. If not,
they're two best teams.
They'll meet. Yeah, they'll probably meet in the semifinals. But just to go a quick thing, right now, according to spreads.ca, Colorado's favored to win the cup, big time. Next is Tampa, then the Leafs, then Vegas, and then Carolina, and the Islanders, and then the Caps, Penguins, Florida, and Boston are all tied after that.
Boston's last, eh?
Well, out of the top 10.
Well, Nashville picked up Eric Goodbrunson. Remember the time we had him in? He come down to the prospect game.
Yeah.
And he had a sore knee, and I said, "Well, why don't you stand on the bench with us?" And I remember a guy tried to ice the puck, and Brian was to my left, Brian Kilray, and he ducked, I ducked, and it hit Goodbrunson. Did it ever cut his ear? Remember, it
almost cut his ear in two.
Cut it right in half. Anyhow, Nashville, they're hot as a firecracker right now.
Yep.
And Goodbrunson,
another big defenseman that just kind of moves the puck.
Another big guy going to move the puck. And Jets, we'll come to the Jets.
Yeah.
Jordy Bitt, 6'2", big tough defenseman, and moves the puck. +5 with the Canucks, which is pretty good.
Yeah, and you figure, it looks like Edmonton, Winnipeg are going to meet in the first round.
Yeah.
So Winnipeg needs to get that.
Can we just get going to the playoffs?
Well, there's 2 more weeks left, something like that.
Well, they don't know with the way that things were.
With
Vancouver.
Well, I think they said Vancouver's practicing this week, and then I think they're going to play like 19 games in 21 days.
How many points behind? They're like 6
or 7 points, but they got a lot of games in hand.
Yeah.
So they could they could catch Montreal, but Montreal's still they still have some games on hand on Calgary and stuff like that. But
well, we hope the Canadian teams do pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's my thoughts on the drafts and everything and trades. And
so, who do you think did the best?
I think Tampa. When you pick a guy like Savard, I mean, he's premier defense, and
so imagine
the rich just got richer.
Yeah, him and Hedberg, they'll be a pretty formidable.
Oh boy, you play with Hedberg if he does. Boy, that'll be something. The rich just got richer.